Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome in if you are new to my channel. Today's video is a side-by-side comparison of the Tinted Moisturizer and foundation from the Pretty Fresh line from ColourPop. I have been using both of these products for a few months now, and I just really love them both. I've gotten a lot of questions from you all about how the two compare, so I thought I would just do a split face side-by-side comparison of each of the products. Let's go ahead and hop right in. Okay, so I've got a little mini ColourPop Pretty Fresh lineup here. There's also a primer and a setting spray in this line, but I already had enough of those two types of products in my collection, so I skipped out on those this time, and instead I've just been playing around with the Tinted Moisturizer, the foundation, and the concealer from this line for the past few weeks. And I'll be using all three of those today. I'll use that concealer, but I am primarily interested in showing you a side-by-side comparison of the foundation versus the Tinted Moisturizer. So I've actually been getting a lot of questions about this ever since I talked about these in a recent video I did related to my favorite affordable cruelty-free brands, so I'll link that video up here if you're curious. But I mentioned both of these and I got a lot of questions about how they compare and contrast. So I thought I would just go ahead and do a half and half video. I'm going to do the Tinted Moisturizer on this side, and I'm going to do the foundation on this side. I'll show you the coverage both with just these on my face, nothing else, and then I'll also show you what they both look like after I've completed a full face of makeup. So one important thing to note is that I apply these differently. So today I'm not going to be applying them exactly the same as each other. I'm going to apply them the way that I've found works best for me. So that means for the foundation, I'm going to be just blending it out with a damp sponge. And for the Tinted Moisturizer, I am going to be spreading it out with my fingers across my face, and then with a very, very slightly damp sponge, like almost not even wet, I'm going to just smooth that out so that there are no finger lines. But first I'm going to go in with the concealer on both sides, and I wear the shade Light 40N in this concealer. It's a great shade match for me in the winter time, but in the summer I think it might be a little too light for me, so I might have to pick up another shade of this. But I really like this concealer. I think it gives decent coverage without being too cakey or just thick looking on my under eyes. So I have fine lines under my eyes and I have quite a bit of darkness, and I don't expect every concealer to do magical things with those dark circles. I'm more interested in just getting a nice smooth base underneath my eyes, just kind of evening things out down there. So mostly I'm impressed with a concealer when it does not settle into my fine lines. And I would say this concealer is one of my best concealers that I have at not doing that. All right, starting in with the Tinted Moisturizer, I wear the shade Light 5N. And same thing that I said about the concealer, I kind of bought these at the time when I knew my skin would be switching over to wintertime shades, and so this one might be a little bit light for me in the summer, but in the winter it's a really great match. So I just put that down in little dots across my face. I'm gonna do my best to get it a half and half look here, and then I just spread it out with my fingers until it's fairly even, and that's when the sponge will come in. So the reason I use a sponge that has just barely been dampened is because I don't want to remove any of the coverage that I laid down with the Tinted Moisturizer. Because it is such sheer to light coverage, I don't want to eliminate any of that if possible. I'm just trying to blot out any fingerprint marks I may have made when I was rubbing it in with my hands. Okay, so I've got quite a bit of sunshine coming in over on this side of recording, so hopefully that will be okay. But you can see it's just a very natural finish. I mean, it absolutely doesn't cover up the spot like where I had my glasses resting this morning, but I do think it gives me a really nice, even, beautiful base to layer on other products. And this is sort of buildable. I would say I can usually get like one more layer on here, but I have to be careful when I rub it in with my fingers to not kind of move what's already on my face. So I'm gonna do a comparison of this with one layer versus the foundation. Then I'll go ahead and add a second layer of this one just to show you the coverage if I do bump that up. In the foundation, I am shade Light 55N, and same as what I've said with the others, it's pretty good in the winter, although this one is slightly deeper than the Tinted Moisturizer. Okay, and then straight in with the sponge for this one. And I realize that's not a perfect comparison because a damp sponge will sheer out a product slightly, so it will make this foundation a little more sheer. Okay, and here is a close-up of what that foundation looks like. So you can see super natural dewy finish on both sides of my face. The foundation absolutely has more coverage. I would say this is like a medium coverage foundation, but on the lighter side of the medium scale. So this foundation can be built up slightly as well, just like the Tinted Moisturizer can be built up, but this is usually like my preferred level of coverage. I can see my skin through it and it leaves me nice and dewy, but it does give me plenty of coverage in those areas I need it. For example, you can see it covers up this spot where my glasses rest much better than the Tinted Moisturizer side. And you can see some like freckles and stuff on my nose on this side that you can't really quite see on this side, but I don't think it obscures everything so much that it looks like I'm wearing just like a mask of makeup. Okay, and as promised, I'm going to build up the coverage a little bit on the Tinted Moisturizer side. Like I said, I do have to be super careful when I'm blending this in because I've noticed that if I rub even a little bit too hard, it does just move the product around and it doesn't really help build anything up. Okay, so there it is with 2 layers of the Tinted Moisturizer on this side and 1 layer of the foundation on this side. As expected, you can see the foundation still has a significant amount more of coverage than the Tinted Moisturizer side. However, something I love about this Tinted Moisturizer is that I can get a reasonable amount of coverage that's perfect for just everyday wear or more of a casual look. I just think it has such a beautiful, beautiful natural finish. Both of these products are absolutely outstanding, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one, just from a coverage standpoint. It just depends on whether you'd like to have something a little bit more medium coverage or something a little more on the sheer to light end of things. One last thing to note with these is the price difference and the amount of product you get. So the Pretty Fresh foundation is $16, the Tinted Moisturizer is $14. And that may not sound like a huge difference, but it's really important to note that this, for $16, you get 1 fluid ounce, and this, for $14, you get 1.45 fluid ounces, so almost 1.5 times the amount of product in the foundation. So that's just something to keep in mind. However, if you're going to be building this up to 2 layers every time, you might go through them at about the same rate anyway. Okay, I am going to hop off. I'm going to do the rest of my complexion and an eye look, and then I will be back with some final thoughts. Okay, and this is the full look with the rest of my complexion and eyeshadow done. I did record this eyeshadow tutorial for my Instagram, so if you're curious, go ahead and head over there. It's just at Morgan Witte Taylor on Instagram. And I really love how both sides of this turned out. I know the sun is creeping in here, so I'm going to try to be quick and show you some angles so that you can really see both sides. As a reminder, over here we have the Tinted Moisturizer and over here we have the foundation. And one of the main points that I want to make here is that honestly, I think once you've done a full face of the rest of your makeup, these come out to be more or less the same, especially if you do choose to build up the tinted moisturizer side a little bit more or sheer out the foundation side a little bit more. The finish that they give is comparable. They're both on the natural to dewy side of things. I would say not too dewy, so don't be scared of these products if you have a oilier skin. I do think both of them would perform well on any type of skin. I have particularly dry skin, especially this time of year, and they both look absolutely beautiful on me. So I'm going to do a closer up look, and I'm going to try to get rid of this light on this side so that you can see. Foundation, tinted moisturizer. So if I were trying to decide between purchasing one or the other of these two products, I think I would really consider what my daily habits are. So for example, for me, the foundation is a little more redundant within my own collection. I have a few other, medium coverage foundations. So that one's not 100% a necessity in my collection. Well, truthfully, neither of them are, because I also own a couple tinted moisturizer type of products. However, I do think that this tinted moisturizer is incredible. And for the price per ounce that you're getting this tinted moisturizer at, it beats most drugstore prices by far. So I do think you're getting a huge value, and I do appreciate the fact that I can build it up just a little bit more, or I can really sheer it out for just light coverage. So I really think that you'd have to take a look at your own kind of habits and what you already own to decide which of these would be best for you. I highly recommend both of them. I don't think you can go wrong either way. But I did just want to show that the tinted moisturizer really can hold its own with like a full glam eye and full face of products. It's not like it looks out of place or like you just haven't completed your makeup look. I hope this side-by-side comparison was helpful for you. And if you enjoyed this video today, please consider commenting down below, giving this video a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.